Oh, one of the things that I was thinking about that I'd be interested in would be in the course of your life where you've had so many incredible experiences, if you were to distill the wisdom of those experiences, what would you want to pass on to people? What would you think was crucial for people to know who are on a spiritual path or...
Okay, I think probably the biggest overall would be our potential for total evolution of the human body-mind system. We have this potential that is built in, and we're not actualizing it. So that would be probably the umbrella thing. And I think then trying to speak to that is where all the religion comes from. And the religions are way off base. They left out all the good stuff. They left out all the truth. But you have to start somewhere. And religion kind of introduces some of those subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And the subject that I think is the most intriguing, or that I'm working on right now, is immortality. But some of the other things are the bliss.
Yeah.
That is,
available to us if we...
It is. That's exactly.
Yeah.
It's available if we want to go after it. The technologies for getting to that bliss have been lost. A lot of stuff has been, how do I say it, kind of twisted. And twisted in such a way that would never, using just religion, would never get to the truth.
Well, can you describe in some way, like, there are spiritualities or religions that have steps to bring you to that bliss or that connection with your life source, that direct connection. So like in yoga, there are steps. And, in your life, what would you say and are some of the steps? And can you describe what you look like when you're actualized? What do you get out of that?
Okay. Well, first, before we do that, what are some of the steps like in yoga? I'm not a yoga person, but
okay.
Like what would some of those steps be?
In yoga, there are 10 ethical principles. That's what it starts with. So overall, they say it's an 8-limbed path, and the first 2 have to do with ethics, and they're subdivided into 5 ethical standards each. Okay, and then you move into the things that are specific to this particular path would be Hatha Yoga, which is the yoga that most people practice in this country.
And what is that?
Hatha Yoga is just the yoga of postures and asanas.
Oh.
And then there's the breathing, which they call pranayama in yoga. So there are breathing techniques that are essential in yoga to leading you to those higher states, because it's the oxygen, the energy of that actually is what constitutes the essence of helping to move you to that state. Okay. So after the breathing comes, I might be missing a step. Okay, so...
Well, that's okay.
After the breathing comes, and this is pretty common to the different religions that I've looked at, it's called pratyahara, which means drawing all your senses inward. So you're fully concentrated on the inner world, okay?
Very common.
Yes.
What is it called?
It's called pratyahara.
So focusing inward.
Yes. All your senses are drawn inward, so you're not sensing into the outside world anymore.
Which is also a meditation technique.
That's the beginning of meditation. So there are 2 more steps until you get to the final step of meditation, which in yoga is bliss, but in like the Catholic religion would probably be the Christ itself. The Christ itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next 2 steps are different stages of concentration. That's all they are. And I forget which comes first. I think it's dhyana, D-Y-A-N-A, and then Dharana, Dharana.
Okay.
So those are each deeper steps of your ability to focus and concentrate, and when you can do that, then that leads you into this opening. It's in yoga it's called self-realization, where all your potentials become activated. And you talk about in your book all those different potentials which give you the abilities to do lots of things, including, right, enter other dimensions.
Including heal your cow.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a cow,
heal yourself.
if you don't happen to have a cow in your basement.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to share this. Last night I was working, I started out just with the exercises that I was talking about at dinner last night, the pump exercises that pump the I'm not sure what the light, the chi, the energy, the life energy, whatever it is, the I am, up through the body. So, about, I'm going to say, after maybe 60, 70, maybe 80 pumps, then I thought, I'm tired. I'm going to rest a minute. So I just, I kind of just slowed down, relaxed for a minute, and I remembered my cow. and I thought, and I could feel, as I relaxed, this amazing energy start moving. And it was moving both up the spine and up the front of me. And I thought, well, let's use this. My hands got hot again. So, I left the body, went out to the pasture, and I'm like, Emma, I'm here to work on you, honey. So I'm working on that leg, and the whole thing, the whole leg, hoof, and the place where the infection was, and up into the haunch and up in the spine, all of that turned a brilliant gold. And just stayed. And I thought, yes. I've only had that happen one other time spontaneously, when Nellie had a large lump on her breast, and she was going for a, biopsy. Mm-hmm. And I was absolutely terrified. I was like, oh my God. So, I decided it's the night before the biopsy, and I thought, okay, I'm going to, I'm just going to work on her. And I went to bed, and I don't know, it was probably 11 at night, and I started working on her. And I would try to see her, that breast clear and energy flowing through her. And as soon as I would stop the effort, the whole thing would revert. And I would end up, going back and forth. And I kept that up all night till 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was about 5, maybe 5:30. And you get in an altered state and you're not really tired. But I was aware that there was a lot of effort going into it. And I thought, let me try one more time. I filled her with this light energy, and all of a sudden, her whole body turned into this brilliant orange popsicle with these two legs sticking straight out that were bright orange like two popsicle sticks. And and there was this buzzing, and I thought, oh, it's okay. And she just held that for the longest time. And then finally that kind of faded. And I thought, I can sleep now. And I could hear Jim getting up, because we were still married then. And I thought, oh my God, I took the whole night. and then I heard Nellie's heels clicking across the floor. And she stuck her head in the bedroom door and she said, I'm all healed now, Mom. You can go to sleep. And I thought, wow. How did she know? And then, and then I fell asleep. And I said to her later, how did you know? Because she came home from the appointment for the biopsy, and she said they couldn't find the lump. And I said, oh yeah, I worked on you last night. I said, you turned into a bright orange popsicle, and I knew the lump was gone.
So just to be clear, you were doing distance healing. Nellie was in an entirely
Yeah.
different place.
Nellie was in her own apartment in Kalamazoo. So, I think we have these amazing, amazing abilities that we don't use, and I get to those doing exactly these steps that you were talking about with yoga.
Oh.
So you do something physically to loosen, or
Yeah,
some stretching or something to
breathing.
and
It's
then
all
you do
about
the
breath.
you do the breathing.
Once I started with the exercise and got
Can you
tired,
describe the pumping that you were doing?
it's like a Kegel,
Okay.
but it's a lot of them. So go for it.